Okay, these are your instructions for the week of November 29th through Friday, December 3rd. And there's not much left. It's pretty much, the game's pretty much over except for the final and 2 chapter quizzes. If you're in 1301, you'll be taking the chapter 16 quiz this week, the chapter 17 quiz next week, with the time being somewhat altered because finals open up week after next, or next week by the time you read this. If you're in 1302, you'll be taking the chapter 31 quiz. So that's all you got this week. As usual, the quizzes will be open Monday through Friday, and they post themselves. If you are looking at your average, I did this a while ago and found out I wasn't actually recording anything. I'm going to go back when I get through this and put in zeros for assignments that were not submitted. If you didn't take exam 3, or if you and those grades are posted, have been for 3 or 4 days now. Or if I give you an extension on a final paper or something like that, typically I gave people through a week ago tonight to get those done. And if it's not there, it's not there, and I'll put in zeros. You can see if you can talk me into letting me have a little bit more time. You know, I'm not inclined to be really picky the way things are now. But anyway, about all you can do is, if you've got zeros, you got a chapter quiz, you want to see if I'll let you take it anyway from whenever, anywhere up and down the timeline, let me know. I might give you a crack at it. Probably will. Just I'm not inclined to be picky, as I said. Okay. The next thing up, the last big deal, is the final exam. So let me tell you where we're going from this week. We're nearly done. Okay. This week, Monday through Friday the 3rd of December, you have the chapter 16 or 31 quiz, depending on which course you're in. And next week, that would be the week of Monday, November 6th. Pardon me, December 6th. That one's going to be different because finals open on Thursday the 9th. So everything's got to be done by Wednesday now. Since you're accustomed to having 5 days, I'm going to open the last chapter quiz up. That's going to be 17 if you're in 1301. It's going to be, my computer's sitting here on a lab desk. Chapter 32 if you're in 1302. I'm going to have those open for you on Saturday the 7th. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You'll have 5 days, but it's going to be the weekend through Wednesday. Now, anything that I give you extra time on or anything like that, it's all going to be done by the end of the day on Wednesday, the 8th of December. Nothing goes past that. Everything is done in the bank for good or ill, better or worse, when finals begin. Okay? Okay. Now, what I was going to say was, if you want to do something that counts as really pretty serious preparation, partial, not complete, but preparation for the final exam, while boosting chapter quiz grades, you can go back and I'll take anything you send me of the worksheets that appear at the ends of the chapters in the supplements books. Okay? Look the answers up, put them in there, find a way to email me that file. And I've got about, 5 or 6 in there that I haven't given feedback on yet, but didn't get to it this week, and my printer needs a cartridge. I haven't been able to print them out, so I'm going to see if I can get that taken care of in the next day or two. That would be Monday or Tuesday. Okay? So you can do those, turn them in, and get 1 point for each correct answer. Now, these range all the way from some short ones worth no more than about 10 or 12 points to, especially in 1302, some monster ones where you could add, I think there's one where you could add 29 points to a chapter quiz grade if you got all those right. And I see typically, and they're not more than 10 or 12 people have done any of those, 1 or 2 that have done them all. And that helped because these tend to be highly motivated people, and the grades, it takes them into the 90s or well past 100. That can help. Whereas the people who really need to do it, the reason they really need to is that they're not well motivated and they're behind and they're making bad chapter quiz grades when they could help with that. And looking up those answers and all of that, that's probably more preparation than those folks would do anyway for a test like the final. Now, the final exam will be open from Thursday, December 9th through Wednesday, December 14th. No, Tuesday, December 14th. Yeah. The final exam is comprehensive. That means it's over the entire course. It consists of 100 4-option multiple choice questions. All my other multiple choice questions are 3-option. This is 4. Now, I'll have to check how I set that thing up. I do all that at the beginning of the semester. And if I can take it off from, make it not randomize the order of the questions, I think that will help. I'll try to get it that way. If I can't, I can't. But I like for them to appear the way they would on a paper copy. That is, in the order in which I put them, which is the order in which you would encounter that in the course. It's a little bit less confusing when you do it that way. The options will be randomized, the order of them. Okay. The questions will be divided up among the 4 units, including what we do this week and next, for about 20 to 25 questions per unit. And on a paper copy, which, by the way, if you were sitting in a classroom taking this, you'd find it's pretty much like any other 17-page test book you've ever seen, really. They'd approximately be in order. Now, you're going to have, I believe it's an hour and 50 minutes to take the final. Make sure you have time. You've got going to have 7 days to work it in. Okay? It'd be hard to convince me unless you just waited to the last minute to take it and had a motorcycle accident or in the hospital. It's not likely anybody will have to get an incomplete, but if you have a grade of 70 or better, average of 70 or better, and you can't take the final, and I'd be tempted to say, well, what did you do with the other 6 days? Then I could give a temporary grade of I for incomplete, which would give you some time to take the thing later on and get a grade and finish the course. There's a complication that I have no idea how they would work this out. I was a full-timer for 28 years through last spring when I retired, and this fall I've taught 2 sections, and not all the things are there, okay? I'm not going to be on the schedule in the spring semester, so I don't know who would grade an incomplete makeup final. I don't know. That's the mystery of the ages, so I'll have to figure that out. I don't anticipate anybody needing an incomplete because you got 7 days to take it. Surely you can work it in. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time. And this one is no notes, no book, no nothing. And it's drawn from the supplements. The supplements. All right. I'll tell you about the gray area. Okay. Your final average determines your letter grade. 90 or better is an A, 80 is a B, 70 is a C, and on down. The 60s is something they don't have in high school. It's called a D. It's minimally passing. 59 or below, you make an F. I sleep like a baby. That's it. Okay. Some of these averages, I see them on the screen out to a decimal place. Maybe 2. I don't remember. And I routinely round to the nearest whole number. So the grade threshold for an A is actually a 59.5. So 89.5. For a B is a 79.5. That would automatically round up. You know, I don't trouble myself about it. I just do it. The gray area is the narrow 1/2 point below the threshold. For example, 79.0 to 79.4. That does not automatically round up. But if I check back over what you've done and you haven't missed any chapter quizzes and didn't ask me to extend a deadline for you, which I would have done routinely, then you're signaling me that the lower average will be fine, and that's what you'll get. Okay? Okay? All right. Gray area. Supposed to be something else, but don't remember what it was. Hope you had a nice holiday and didn't gain too much weight or anything like that. So we're just about done. So there you go. How do I turn this thing off? Okay, I just watched the recording I just did a while ago, and I realized I might have possibly confused people on the gray area because it didn't come across to me that said what I meant to say. Let's say you come out with a final average of, for example, less than 1/2 point below what it would take to automatically round up. Okay? If everything's clean, you did all the assignments, then the only way you ever get a 0 is if you just don't do something. If you do an assignment, you'll get a grade other than 0. Everything's clean, then I'll go ahead and round that up. Okay? And if it's not, then I won't. It's that simple. So you might want to look back over your record and see how it's all going. I'm going to attach this to the other thing here.